Hello, everyone.
Hey bag ladies and bag dudes, I'm Sarah Lawson from Sweetness. Thanks so much for joining me for Ask Sarah, my weekly Q&A chat. Okay, so we were watching the chats over on YouTube and Facebook before we started, and we saw that it was, I'm going to wait and let Danny do his hellos. I see Brian over there. Thanks so much for joining us. It's Melissa's birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday to you, Melissa. We were excited to put that up on the screen. So on Sunday we had Lauren had her baby. We put that on the screen. Melissa's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday to Melissa. I also like this comment from Kim. Kim said, I have a new respect for pattern makers of any kind. I'm just trying to alter a garment pattern and it's taking forever. So my grandmother, we call her Amma. It's grandmother in German, and she likes making garments. She hasn't made it in a while, but she used to make a ton clothes for my mom and my aunt, and clothes for herself, dresses and things. And she said she used to me it seemed like she used to like following the pattern pieces, but when it came to the instructions, it seemed like she more or less wanted to do whatever she wanted. So but yeah, designing patterns is not a quick process. There's sometimes a lot of back and forth. I made something the other week and it didn't quite work out, so it's sort of almost back to the drawing board. So sometimes it happens and it's just part of the process. Timbra says, no questions. I just wanted to let you know how awesome you guys are. Thank you for giving me a passion. Thanks for joining us. It's my passion, not Danny's passion yet, but Danny's passion is helping me out with the video and the technology and all this stuff. So we super love doing it. I see Louise from Michigan finally made a live video. Thanks for joining us live. I think it's really fun being on live if you can make it, because I see a lot of comments and questions going through the chat. People are saying where they're from, where they live, what the weather's like, what they're sewing. So it's really an interactive, you get the video and the voice from me and Danny, but we see all the questions in the comments and the community over in the chat on Facebook and YouTube as well. So that's a lot of fun. Virgie from Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, so we have a few things, or I have a few things that I want to talk about, and then I'll answer some questions live a little bit later on in the chat. If you have a question for me, either sewing related, bag related. I saw a question about fabric that I wanted to answer as well. Just go ahead and type that in the comments. If it's your first time watching the live video on either Facebook or YouTube, you need to be logged into your account on either one before you can leave a comment. And I believe on YouTube, especially if you're on your cell phone, the comment area will be lower at the bottom of the screen. Pat wanted to know, you showed a bag Sunday night as an example using rectangle hardware. What is the pattern, also the fabric? I think I took a wild guess which one you were talking about. I think it was probably this one, because this is the one I think I was talking about when I mentioned the metal rectangles. I was talking about hardware on Sunday's show. This is the Sloan travel bag. The fabric is designed by Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz designs for Free Spirit Fabric. I believe his fabrics have also been in Joann's stores in the past. And it's a really great matte fabric. And Tim Holtz also does scrapbooking supplies and die cutting for Sizzix, and so his stuff is really graphic. He has, I believe, a Christmas line and a Halloween line coming out later this year, and they're just really nostalgic, and I feel like they're a bit edgy, and I really like them a lot. There's a couple other things I wanted to talk about before we get over to more questions, though, but we just wanted to get to Pat's question because she asked very first thing before we started.
Even before the show started.
Yeah, before the show started. So I know some of you were waiting for the acrylic templates for the minikins. If you're not familiar, or if you haven't heard us talk about them before, the acrylic templates are just template plastic that's durable, and it's for pattern pieces in the minikins that are not squares or rectangles, because if it's a square or rectangle, you can just use your quilting ruler or rotary cutter to cut those out, but any other shapes like this, these are from the cotton candy pouch, and these are, again, obviously the non-squares or rectangle pieces. Depending on which minikin pattern, the pattern or the acrylic templates might vary. Like this set is from the binary pouch, and as you can see, the pieces are a lot bigger. So it just depends on the pattern. These are up now in the shop. There's 2 of them that are sold out currently. However, we have more on the way. Ed is working really hard to get us more sets of templates in the shop. I apologize. The product listings are missing the photographs right now. We had a little bit...
I did take the photos. There's a problem with it.
What was the problem with the photos?
Someone didn't mention to me, and I didn't realize my previous photos, they had to be in portrait, which is,
up and down, like a long picture.
Not landscape. And I took all landscape photos, which generally I thought we use.
Yeah, my website
so
has...
we'll split the blame.
Okay, we'll split the blame. My website it's oriented for the portrait photos. And so when I opened them up, I was like, wow, these are really great photos. And then I thought about for a minute, and I'm like, wait a second, you took them the wrong way.
It's like, nope.
They
Do
were
them all over again. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
Well, yeah, you have to take them the right way.
It wasn't that long. It was only like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, I just couldn't crop it out and get it to look nice. And it just basically, you just saw like the edge, the corner of the plastic like this. And you couldn't even really tell what was in the picture. So, sorry, Danny.
It happens. More often than not.
We'll get to let's do the bag lady first off. Here's my outline in case you want to reference it.
I try not to look at this stuff. We're going off the top of that.
Wait, no.
It's just like, we have to follow this. Without this, we're in trouble. I'm like, no, we'll just wing it. Don't worry, it's fine. I love winging it.
So we're going to ask for all the bag ladies and bag dudes to let us know in the comments. Just go ahead and type bag lady or bag dude. I'm certainly a proud bag lady. Danny is kind of a 1/8 bag dude, I guess you could call it.
We'll see eventually, maybe.
So we love the community that has formed around the term, and I like seeing all the bag ladies and bag dudes coming up in the comments, so thanks for participating in that little call out. So I had an email earlier today from Swapna. Swapna says because of where she lives, the show comes on, I think she said 3 a.m. where she lives, so she watches the recording every week, but she had a question that she was hoping that I could answer on the live show. And Swapna's question was, what's the purpose of D-rings, O-rings, or triangles if you are not attaching a swivel clip? So this was a question in regards to hardware, because I was showing a bunch of hardware and bag samples on the Sunday show just to give examples of what the hardware looks like and what type of bag you could use it in. So I pulled a bag out that actually has both examples in it. So let me show you the first example, what Swapna was talking about in her email. So the side of the bag has an adjustable strap on it, and this part over here, this little tab of fabric, has a D-ring, and attached to the D-ring is a swivel clip. And so part of the point of the swivel clip is that you can release it and attach it again if you want. So for example, if you want to take the adjustable strap off, you can do that. Contrary to that is this rectangle that I have on the front of the bag. And this rectangle is not functional like that D-ring and the swivel clip are on the side of the bag. This is more decorative or for visual interest or design purposes. So this metal rectangle just kind of splits up the tab on the bag with the handles. So if you wanted to, you certainly could have a solid handle instead of having the hardware with the tab and the strap. But I like sometimes the hardware mixes it up a little bit, and sometimes the addition of hardware also makes the bag look more professional. So to answer Swapna's question, either of these could be made with a continuous strap. Sometimes the addition of hardware makes it look a little bit more interesting, although if you're trying to cut costs, say if you're making a lot of these or to sell, you might consider eliminating based on costs of hardware and things like that. Okay, what else is on my outline over here? So Ed and Robin are viewers, and Ed makes the acrylic templates for us, and when they sent the templates, Robin actually included in the package, and I thought this was really sweet. But we are sort of practicing with our first embroidery machine, and so Robin sent me all these embroidery stabilizer samples and a chart and information about what they are used for, and there's also information on the samples, on the back of the samples, very in detail, because there's like a million different interfacings on here for embroidery. So it's a lot different than what I'm used to with bags, because there's pretty much, 2 or 3 main bag interfacings that I use, and then there's a couple other that I might use for a bag, but nowhere near as many interfacings for bags as there are for machine embroidery. So thanks to Robin for sending me those. We'll have to study these and maybe give some of these a try on our embroidery machine. Okay, if you enjoy our live chats and our bag videos and tutorials, we'd like to invite you now to hit if you're watching on Facebook, to hit the share button. Share this sewing video with your other sewing friends on Facebook. Or if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, which is the thumbs up. And either likes or shares helps us out a lot, because Facebook and YouTube look very kindly on videos that have likes or shares. And they consider sharing those videos with other people, either on Facebook or YouTube, that may be interested in that type of content. So thanks so much for supporting us and by helping us out by doing that.
Thank you.
Mary says, today is my 45th wedding anniversary, and while I have a cold, my husband is happily listening to this conversation. Oh, well, congratulations. I'm so sorry you're not feeling well. I think some things are going around. I know my aunt, uncle, and cousins were sick with kind of heavy colds last week, so I'm sorry you're not feeling well on your anniversary. Hey, what are you doing? I had like 2 things left on there.
They're gone.
I hope you
I
memorized.
like to wing it.
I hope you memorized the rest
We're
of
just
my
going to go
outline.
off and see what happens.
Okay.
The
I
great
do.
thing about live video, if I say something inappropriate, can't take it back.
Nah.
So I might be in trouble.
Okay, so are you taking charge of the chat from now on? Let's see. Tammy says, Danny, the go live for the retreat, will it be on Instagram or Facebook? So explain what that is, give some background information, what her question was, and what your answer is.
Going live for the retreat would require us to use our cell phone, and our cell phone, we have one choice. It's either going to be YouTube or Facebook. I'll ask Sarah what she'd prefer. Either one will work, I think, fine. I think we'll probably use Facebook.
Couldn't we use your cell phone and my cell phone and have Facebook on one and YouTube on the other?
Yeah, but it'd be difficult. Well, you could address questions like alternating, but...
Couldn't, like, Violet help you and Violet do one phone with YouTube and you do one phone with Facebook?
We could, or we could do half and half, like start one half and... Or yeah, why not? We can do both phones. I don't see why not. One of each. Sure.
Okay. I'm just saying,
So,
I've seen
cover
it
both bases.
I've seen it done before, so...
Sure. I think I saw Tula Pink do that, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So the retreat starts Thursday night, so we'll try to get something. We have like a welcome mixer Thursday night. We'll try to get something, either pictures or video, or we'll see what we can do with the internet situation.
Yep.
I think, right?
I'll
So
get
Danny was hassling me yesterday because for the retreat we're bringing some machines to loan out for some people, and there's 2 of the machines are my personal machines that I use, and we bought 3 more Jukis, the same machines as mine. And they're still in the box, and Danny told me yesterday that I really should take them out of the box and make sure that they work okay. And I already piled, like, goodie bags and things on top of the boxes, and I'm looking in the living room, and I'm like, oh, I have to take those out of the boxes and
I don't think she's going to
turn
do it
them
in time.
on.
The problem, I always like to make sure everything's working. Her 2 machines of her own, she recently took to
They got maintenance.
the store
Yeah.
and had maintenance done. I know the one she's sewn on, but the second one, I don't think she's checked to make sure everything was okay. And who knows? Sometimes they check it and might have a problem, and there's not extra
do it.
backups. There's not extras like, hey, this goes wrong, we have another one. There's not any extras. So cross my fingers.
No,
Worst
I'll take 'em.
situation I'll be driving to another sewing store and have to purchase another Juki, and then we'll have 5 Jukis in the house.
Well, there are 5 now in the house.
We'll have 6 then.
I'll take them out of the boxes tonight, I promise. Or maybe you will.
Well, it's going to be too late. Even if you take it out tonight, I don't think it'll be time to have it repaired in time if there was a problem.
Well, not repaired, but
Go buy another one.
I guess.
Still have enough time to buy another one the day of. When we go, you have to set everything up there. Last time it was Thursday night. They came, set everything up, made sure, put the thread in the bobbin and stuff. So I'm sure Sarah's gonna do the same thing. So we'll find out then. A lot of birthdays and anniversaries going on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and find it because everyone's wishing someone a happy birthday. So whoever you are, happy birthday. Once I see the comment, I found it.
Lillian says, I'm going to publicize my 70th birthday on Thursday. Your bags make my life happier. I enjoy both you and Danny very much. I'm so glad.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Happy birthday. Sewing has really, I feel like it turned my life around. I don't know if I ever talked about on the live show about all those bags. Did I ever talk about all those bags that I used to make assembly line?
Yeah, we talked about it before, and you said, I wondered why you never end up selling them because you made like 30 bags or something.
The first bags that I made were, honestly terrible. Like, me looking now back on what those bags look like, they were a bit hodgepodge looking, and you would think looking at them that there was no hope for me, but I have since improved, and I feel like sewing has brought a lot of things to me. It's brought friends. I have friends in real life and sewing friends, all of you online in the Facebook group.
Real life friends?
Well, no, I mean, like, I have a hard time making friends, and when I talk to people, I'm mostly like the silent one, like on the outside of the group, or I'm not sure what to say a lot of the time. But with sewing, I always have something to say, like, especially with these live chats. I would never be able to do something like this and have live chats twice a week and talk to people, but sewing gives me so much to talk about. I'm excited about when I share things like notions on the Sunday show. When I find things, it's just really exciting for me. I like to talk about things, try them out. And I like when people give suggestions, like it's a back and forth, especially in the Facebook group when someone mentions, have you tried this before? What do you think about this? And then I come back with, no, I've never heard of that. I'll have to try that out. For example, people email me all the time with notions that they just purchased. Sara, a couple months ago, emailed me with a product called the strip stick. So I bought one and I tried it out and I showed it on the Sunday show. So that stuff is really, I feel like I have like a full life, not just a great family life, but like an interest that keeps me going, and it's a lot of fun. And like I said, friends in real life and online friends. So
I think online friends are real life friends too, because I have friends online that I've met in real life. My one friend, his name's Alex, real cool guy. He's actually stayed with us at our house twice now, and I met him online playing video games and stuff. And meeting someone online could be just like meeting someone locally. You don't see the face to face, but you talk to them. And, I'd game with them for, many days, many years already. And, you get to know the person. And when we meet in real life, it's the same thing as just seeing them when I talk to them on there. So I think online friends are just as good as, face-to-face friends. And I think it's a cool part of the closed group on Facebook is that you really get this rapport going on with different people. And you ladies are very funny. And I get a lot of entertainment out of a lot of you. Bronwyn comes to mind right away because she's like a spark plug. Just gives you that instant little
sassy.
Giggle laugh. Yeah, for sure. And I always enjoy reading her comments.
Plus, with online friends, you could be wearing your pajamas. You don't have to be dressed. I mean, you should be dressed with some, like a robe.
Underwear at least, right?
Yeah. I just mean you don't have to be dressed up. Your hair doesn't have to be done. And you could just be sitting at home. And that's fun, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I don't remember what was on my outline since you kind of threw it in the garbage.
That was it.
Okay.
You wrapped it up.
Why don't we do your pick of the week, and then we'll do some questions.
All right. That there is Bronwyn out in the wild with her bag. It was a great comment she made, and that's Michelle's. First, we'll get to Bronwyn's. It's on loop, so we'll see it a couple times. She made a comment when she posted this picture. I see a lot of bags, but I don't see them actually being used out in the wild. Like taking a picture with your bag out and about, actually using your bag. And I thought that was a great, comment, because you don't ever see a bag generally. Yes, you do see you have a model wearing it in their yard. It could be a kid, a daughter, a son, whatever it may be. But you never actually see someone going out. And Sara does the same thing either. Is like when you go out somewhere with it, you don't see a bag picture per se with it. And I thought it was a cool idea.
Like modeled almost.
Yeah.
Well, modeled.
Well, just,
right?
Someone really using the bag, not just making it to look at it, but actually, using it. And I thought it was cool. And Michelle made this amazing set. That bag is it the Bye Bye Love bag or something? What is it? That's from your books. I forget the name of it.
Lucky Denver Mint. It was from my first book,
yes.
Big City Bags. And Michelle also made the eyeglass case.
2 Cork Club
case. The eyeglass case and the cork zipper pouch, which are both free little projects, like 10-minute projects.
Look at the fussy cutting she did. You see the owls perfectly in the zipper pouch.
Yeah.
Same thing for the eyeglass case. Really nice job. And kudos to both of you two.
Yeah, good job. All right, how about some questions?
Sure.
How you feel about that?
Yep, let's look through them.
I saw a question, it probably got crammed in the middle, so I'll just read it out loud and answer it. Someone was asking me about what type of fabric for like a Bagalini style bag. I think I'm familiar with what type of bag that is, but I'm not 100% sure. I thought it was possibly ripstop fabric, and I actually bought some ripstop fabric recently. I have some grocery bags that are made out of it, and so I wanted to give it, different types of fabric a try. So I was thinking that might be the answer to your question, but I'm not 100% sure since I don't have one of those bags. Debbie says, could you share again the name of the bag made with the matte fabric? Can you reach it? It's right there.
Someone also asked about this one, the matte fabric right there, sir. You showed it earlier.
Oh, this one? Oh, I was...
That the one you talked about earlier. Why would they want to see the one you haven't showed them yet?
I don't know. I don't know.
They want to see it again.
Oh,
and
sorry.
someone also wanted to see the recessed zipper.
Oh, okay. Can you move the question then so we could see it good?
Yep.
See it well, sorry. The fabric is designed by Tim Holtz for Free Spirit Fabrics. Danny said someone wanted to see the recessed zipper on the inside. So
it's like a big Baker Street.
Yeah, there's the zipper right there. I've used this on the plane because it fits underneath the seat. There's another cool little thing that I added to the inside, or I thought it was cool at least. I made like this is attached to a D-ring in the inside of the bag. The idea was to hook your keys on it, so when your keys are inside the bag, you don't have to go searching around for keys. You just
go right to the hook
grab
and pull it out,
grab the strap and pull that out.
That was my idea, by the way.
It was not your idea.
I like to take credit for everything.
One of my friends, Pat Sloan, who is, I think Pat's written about 33 books and gazillions of patterns. She was looking for a travel bag with those specific features. So that's why I named it after her and called it the Sloan travel bag.
Uh-oh. Delivery.
Somebody's at the doorbell. We're not answering.
If they go again, I'll go double check it.
Okay.
But this comment, you read the comment, answer, and I'll...
Okay.
Say something about it.
Denise said, hi from New Zealand, first time viewer, love your bags. Haven't figured out which to try and make first. What would you suggest? You said you were going to say something about this? Or?
After you comment. Well, Bronwyn actually went and I believe hung out with Brownlee. Is it Susan Brownlee? I can't remember her name, but they're both from New Zealand, live 2 hours apart from each other. And I think it was the first time meeting, and it's in the private group, and she's from New Zealand. Made me think of that great picture they had together and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I usually suggest for a first bag, the Baker Street bag. It's a free pattern and video, and you can find that either on my website or the YouTube channel. Again, that's the Baker Street bag. Oh, it's actually this bag back here. I made one in cork, but there's also one that I made in quilting cotton. I don't know if you want to grab it. It's the little purple one over there. So for a first bag, I would probably recommend using quilting cotton because it's super forgiving. This is the one that I made for Violet. So that's the same bag. As you can see, it looks a bit different in the quilting cotton or the cork fabric, but there's a video to go along with it, and I think most people say the videos are super helpful to them.
Violet is so lucky because she really enjoys when Sarah comes back from doing a lecture or a teaching deal and she brings all the bags out. Violet likes to try to grab one of them and can I use this one? And I'm just thinking, I know you got like 4 or 5 mom's bags already that you're using, because she'll take this bag to go here and this bag to go there. And I'm thinking, where are you putting these bags after you? Are they like just all hanging up in our hallway or what? She wants to grab a new one because she sees, Sarah pulling them out. And
she
stuff.
took another one today that she saw in the living room because all the bags are in the living room with the stuff for the retreat. And she had her last day of school, but they had a picnic, so she wanted it was like a crossbody bag to put her folder in, and the folder fit. So I don't know if she's going to use it or swap it out for another one. Kelly says, when boxing the corners of a bag, how do you know how big to cut out the squares to make it the size you want? So if I cut out a 2-inch square, how wide will the bottom be? So I'm bad at math, but you have to take into account the seam allowance. So the seam allowance is, at least for my patterns, usually 1/2-inch seam allowance. So you're counting the seam allowance on the side and on the bottom. I think that'll be a 3-inch wide corner, I think. Since I'm not good at math, I usually make that decision based on trial and error, like when I'm sewing the bag and working on the sample. But I'm sure there's a mathematical formula, and I don't know. Maybe we'll come out with a ruler or something to...
That'd be cool because
acrylic template for that.
I thought these were awesome. The different shapes and the thickness, it looks, semi-thin to me, but even a small piece, I'm flexing it hard, trying to make it flex. These are very solid, and all the possibilities, because these are also engraved. It's not like they're the back part's printed on with, white paint. No, this is actually engraved into, if you get here, listen. And it's a very cool technique that he uses to make these.
Yeah, anyway, I often get asked about making adjustments to patterns and mathematical equations, and I'm sorry, I'm just not that good at figuring numbers and stuff out for that. Tina says, how do we store vinyl and cork, flat or rolled? I personally keep mine rolled. I have some under my desk. I have a little printer organizer with space for paper, and I keep the cork that I'm actually personally using rolled up in there. I've seen some people use like a big... I've seen like a metal garbage can, or I see them at block parties, like little tubs for ice and drinks, something like that.
It's like a keg cooler.
Yeah, to keep everything rolled up. For sure, don't fold it. That's probably the worst thing you can do. Yeah. Flat would be okay if you have enough space, but especially sometimes with the bigger pieces, it's just a space saver to keep it rolled. Gwenna says, what did you make or do for teacher gifts? I went with... I had some suggestions from Instagram to use the cork zipper pouch project, which is a free, like a 10-minute project. We have a video on the YouTube channel for that. And actually, I did not have time to make new ones, so I used the ones that I made previously, but we had just enough, so that was acceptable to Violet. I was just getting ready for the retreat, and I just didn't have time to sew anything in the past week, so they got brand new pouches, but not... newly made pouches. Jen says...
And you gave him a gift card too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, and we gave him gift cards, yeah.
Yep.
Those were both suggestions from Instagram Live. Jen says, any advice on getting my teen daughter interested in sewing? I so want to share this hobby with her. That's a tough one. I think our philosophy with the kids is we don't push them. We just wait for things that they like to do. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I like to push them. Because if it's... Violet and William are motivated totally different. Violet loves to try different stuff, do different things, and see how it goes. William is a creature of habit. He likes to do this and only do this. And if you don't really push him or force him to do something, he won't attempt it. And pretty soon, I know people asked before, are we ever going to see William in a video? Is he ever going to help out? Or, something like that. And I figured a great way to get William involved, and he's going to be in a video probably towards the end of July. And it's going to be a pre-recorded video with William and Violet. We recently ordered an electric bike, and they're going to take it out. They're going to assemble it. We're going to do like a short video. Sarah will probably ride in the video, or I'll be riding it. Someone will be. Probably Sarah, then she can have one of the kids in the back of it. And we'll do like a little review of it. And I want to get the kids involved in that process. And I think it'd be cool. Maybe we'll spark an interest in William. And we'll see. But I think doing small stuff, don't overwhelm them. Maybe have her help you cut it out only 1 week, or have her help you pick the fabric out. Have her give her idea and use her idea so it motivates her. Say, hey, well, I got these great ideas. It turns out well. Maybe she'll want to do something further or help you more next time.
That's a good idea. Store, yeah. Starting with simple things like choosing the fabric or project. Pillowcases. I made
I made a pillowcase.
Yeah.
Yep. Super easy. That's cool too, because you get to go pick your fabric out. And sometimes even going to Joann's, they have like movies or shows or character pop culture
like
fabric.
Disney
yes,
stuff or
like
something?
pop culture fabric that you necessarily not a tulip pink, but it's more interesting to her because she can relate to it. And her picking that out, and so like I did a Star Wars one, then I did a Doctor Who one, and I thought it was super cool because it's not like I can go to. I'm sure you could find it online, but if I go to my local store, I'm not gonna see that there. So I thought, hey, I got this really cool Star Trek or Doctor Who pillow, and I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Good advice. Kathy said, I'd like to see an acrylic template with different diameter circles on each corner. 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches, 3.5 inches, and 5.5 inches would be good size. We'll look into that.
That's interesting.
We're super, the acrylics so far have been working well. We're pretty pleased with them, I think.
For sure.
So.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Oh, here's a question about Violet. I don't know, since we're talking about kids, I don't know if you want to post that one. Carrie says, how old was Violet when she started sewing? My 4-year-old always wants to help. She has her own toy machine, but it doesn't work like mommy's. So Violet, my kids didn't go to preschool, so kindergarten was the first time they went to school, and William's 11 and Violet's 9.5, so obviously William went to school first, and I was still home alone with Violet for 2 years before she went to school after William did. And it was some days it was harder to find things to do to keep occupied, and so we would work on things like Danny said, we would choose fabric and choose a project. since I design bag patterns, I would try to make like basic like Halloween totes or a simple purse. So she would choose the fabric. She would kind of help me cut it out at the beginning for like 2 minutes, and then she got bored, and I would just let her. I wouldn't push her to keep going, but she was kind of in the room or in the next room while I was working on it, so she, would come in and check and see where I was at, and she's, when she was in the mood, she sat on my lap for a little while, and I let her kind of hold the side of the thread, and the fabric in the sewing machine, and she got experience that way, but otherwise I just let her when she's interested in doing it.
Kathy had a comment about Sarah's looking directly at me and Danny's looking at my right ear. We actually have a TV that's directly under the camera, and like right now I'm looking directly at the camera, but when Sarah's talking, I'm actually looking at Sarah, so that's to the right of my camera while I'm looking at her talk. So I'm not looking at I'm actually watching her on the screen.
And also obviously you see the questions come up the bottom on the big TV in front of us.
Well, that's when we look down as well.
Yeah, when we're looking down, we're reading the question on the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
That's a good
A little
question.
behind the scenes, yes.
Good question.
I'm not crazy or like shifty eyes or nothing. But, yeah. Someone said they hear that it skips a generation, like sewing and stuff. But I know your grandmother sews, your mom sews, and you sew. So, who knows?
They're not sewing a lot like they used to, though.
Oh, yeah,
so it's a little different.
It's not as passionate.
Yeah.
I agree, Arlene.
Doctor Who everything.
If you have a Doctor Who itch and need it scratched, on twitch.tv, they're streaming all the old Doctor Who's from Doctor Who season 1 all the way up to the, I think, 8th Doctor or 7th Doctor. So get a good chance to catch up on some old Doctor Who's. People are asking about the bundles for the Minikin templates. Is there going to be a bundle?
That's a good question. Is there going to be a bundle for the templates for the Minikins? I was originally going to do a bundle as well as selling them individually. And once I listed them on the website, I sort of forgot about the bundle idea, but then it seemed okay because then people could order what they want. It seems like most people are picking and choosing their favorite Minikins for the templates. I know there were several people that ordered the whole set, but I don't know. What did you think about the bundle versus the single listings on the website? Did you have an opinion about that?
It'd almost be the same price anyways. I guess it'd be more convenient. You have to add them individually.
Oh, that's true.
But
yeah,
it's a la carte, so you can pick what you want. If you don't have, not everyone likes every Minikin. So I mean, you may like this one, or you may like enough to make one, but maybe not make 6 of them. So you may not want the template. So it's really up to your choice. But I'm just trying to comment for Karen Shaver's comment. So I'm looking for it.
Oh, okay.
If there's ever a question and we don't address it, email Sarah. She'll get back to you within the day. I mean, Sarah@sewsweetness.com. So if you ever see a question and it's not being answered, send her an email.
Well, I wouldn't always say the same day because if it's...
Within a day. I would say generally within 24 hours.
Yeah.
I'm looking for
Yeah, we're not trying to ignore anyone's questions. It's just sometimes, I'm assuming, since usually Danny looks at the questions, sometimes there's a lot, and the comments come through a lot, too.
Yes.
So, Karen,
so it pushes it down.
Karen, if you could post your question again so it comes up on the top and we can find it, then I'll answer it. I think if I had to guess what the question was, my Juki came with just a small hole in the plate. Because my needle does not move from side to side, it's different than a lot of other machines that might have like a bigger space for their needle because it's moving from side to side. So the Juki is straight stitch only, so the needle only stays in the one spot. After I had the machine for probably 2 years, I purchased a plate for thick fabrics, which, I mean, it's still a small hole, but the hole is slightly larger. And the reason that it's good for thick fabrics is maybe you're familiar sometimes when you're sewing, when your needle's trying to go through a thick fabric, it kind of, not that it bends, it kind of shifts to the side a little bit. And having the little bit larger of a hole in the plate of the sewing machine is helpful with that.
That's her question.
Okay, I guess I guessed right. So I do enjoy, since I purchased that plate for sewing with thick fabrics a couple years ago, I don't switch back and forth to my old plate because it's just fine with like piece and quilt blocks or like thinner fabrics with no interfacing. So I just purchased that, I don't know what the technical term for the plate is, plate for thick fabrics, and I lost my train of thought when you pulled that out. The plate was about $100.
Sorry.
The plate costs about $100
That's
in case you're interested. So not cheap, but I haven't switched back to my previous one that came with the machine.
Tammy wants to know, what's your favorite bag, Danny? This one is. Not this particular one, because she has a really cool Donkey Kong one that William uses, and that one's my favorite. I'll tell you why.
Is it by the front door?
I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it. If you want to go look for it, you can go for it.
Yeah, I think do you have stuff to talk about while I'm gone?
Sure.
Okay.
I love this bag because the functionality of it. It's light. You can't pack too much stuff in it. Water bottle, sunscreen, whatever we're out and about going somewhere. This is the perfect bag because Sarah can pack it full of stuff. I'm the one who's lugging it around. Or we'll even take turns sometimes, but it's a great size, and you can put just about as much stuff as you'd want in there, and I do enjoy it. There it is.
You want to move
I gotcha.
And then I'll let you talk about these. So.
Well, Sarah likes this one, so let's get that out of the screen. This is the one I like because that's the Disney one, and if we talk about that one too much, Sarah's going to talk about going on vacation at Disney again. And we don't need a vacation at Disney this year. We need just to relax.
Oh, Nikki was
emailing
me about
I
asking.
knew we shouldn't talk about that bag. I tried getting rid of it before something would happen, but what did Nikki say?
No. Last night in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep, I came down and she was asking me about... I said something about... I was trying to convince you to go to Disney this year.
I know. We were just there in December or whatnot. We'll talk about Disney later, but this bag, I love the purple on it. Donkey Kong, classic video game. I love this bag. It looks super cool in person. It's small. I can carry it. William can carry it. Convenient. I love convenience, and this bag brings it. And it just looks super cool to me. So that's my favorite. About the Disney real fast, Sarah turns Disney vacations into workations because it's like a job. We're there 7 days. We're at the parks for 7 days, and it's a schedule event. So 8 in the morning we're up. 9 in the morning at the parks. We're there till 2 o'clock or something. And then we take it easy, but every day we have a schedule. I want to go to a nice beach, sit back, drink a cold beverage, and just relax. Read a book. Just close my eyes. I could sit there and sleep on the beach for 12 hours. Give me a little
Couldn't you
umbrella.
Go to, downtown Chicago, go to the beach at Lake Michigan, and you're at the beach still, right?
I could. But, one thing someone said earlier about Danny looked tired. I was up till probably 2 in the morning last night. I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't know what happened. I just couldn't go back to bed, and I probably got like 3 hours of sleep. So if I'm a little tired looking, I'm sorry. If I'm a little ornery, I'm sorry as well.
Yeah, he was snapping at me earlier.
When I don't sleep well, that's what happens, and I apologize after the fact. But
yeah, you did apologize.
Yeah, so I'm sorry.
I could tell something was not right.
I gotta stop acting like Sarah so much.
Let's see.
Comments. Come here. I think you did this one already though.
Kathy wants to know, could you demo installing grommets sometime, please? I think my Rivet press video, I think I did talk about grommets, and I think I put some in, maybe some small ones. That Rivet press video is on YouTube and on my website. It's a free video if you're interested. I don't remember how long it was, probably less than 10 minutes, but I talked about different sizes for dies and grommets and rivets and all sorts of stuff. Nikki said, and this is the Nikki I was talking about when I was talking about Disney a second ago. Nikki says, I said that we have everything here. Danny, we also have some of the most beautiful parks, interesting museums, Legoland, Universal Studios, and things you will never see anywhere else. And that's California Disney.
Okay. I actually like that Disney better. I like Disneyland better than Disney World, actually, for Disney part. But I did like Universal Studios in Florida. We had a great time. We went there last. So we could try that next time in California. Someone had a question about, here it is. Sarah, you can answer this one.
Carolyn says, when you do Disney, do you stay on site or off, trying to decide? We've done both. I like being a Disney fan. I like staying on site better.
Early park access.
Shuttle
buses.
The shuttles. I just like when we go back to the hotel, it being like the magic at the hotel as well. You probably don't care, but...
The magic of the hotel?
Ember says Disney is not a vacation. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Well, Sarah's very organized about it, and I appreciate that because we had the best path. She uses this app on the phone. We're going here. We're going there. This is the best time to go here. And we just follow along and go with it. And it works out generally until maybe one of the kids don't want to go on a certain ride, so we skip that one. But Oh no, it's fun going there, but by the time 6-7 days go by, it's like, wow, I'm ready to go home actually. And who says that when they're ready to go home from vacation? Usually you want to stay longer. I'm like, man, I need a vacation from my vacation.
Oh, I see a question right there. Donna wants to know, where did you get your tabletop press? I purchased mine from a shop on Etsy called Minkus Margot. And the reason that I chose to purchase from there, and I still buy dies and rivets and things from Minkus Margot on Etsy, is because the customer service was great. When I first wanted to investigate purchasing the press, I didn't know like the terminology as far as I admit it's a bit confusing. Like I use 8mm rivets, and the hole for the rivet is 3mm. So there's all these numbers, and it's super confusing. And there's so many options on the websites for rivets and things. And I got almost immediate responses, and she probably answered 20 of my questions, and was not rude, just very kind and patient. And so that's why I purchased from there, because with that tabletop press, every single application needs its own die, and every size, like say different sizes of rivets or different sizes of grommets, they all need their own die. And when you put that into play, like so many different options, very confusing, and I don't want to spend money on the wrong die, because some of the dies are like $20 or $30. So having customer service sometimes is the most important aspect of shopping, any kind of shopping, I think. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yes, 100%. Sorry, I was checking a stat on side.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at on the other side. We have another monitor with stats going on. I was just checking, make sure everything's still working.
Okay.
It's working.
It looked like you were like bored with my answer, but now
were you saying something?
Diana says, "Can you demo rivets not using the press for those of us who don't have one?" So
you did that in the
in my rivet press video, I did purchase a handheld press, and I found it a bit difficult to. My hand strength, especially my left hand, is not so good. So for me personally, I found it a bit difficult, but I pulled it out, and I did show it at the very end of the video. But for most of the video, it was my tabletop press, I think. Maybe there's a better handheld press, and I just don't know about it. Possibly. I'm sure there's got to be something easier, because the one that I purchased was quite difficult, I thought. Karen said, "Someone asked about a demo for straps with cork on one side and fabric on the other. Will you do one?" I certainly will, and I'll have to write that down. Lately, during the live chats, when people make requests like that, I've been writing them down, because by the end of the chat, I'll likely forget. Strap. Okay. Vicky said, "I asked earlier if you make a bag that has zippers on the inside separating the front and the back."
I wasn't sure what that meant.
I'm not sure what you mean, but if you want to email me, Sara@sewsweetness.com, and that's Sara with no H. We can go back and forth, and if you want to explain that, I'll answer your question. Rabia said, "Question on the hinge zipper foot. How close to the needle do you have the foot? I feel like it hits the needle so easy, and I have to have it kind of far away from the needle." Let's see. I'm not sure if you're talking about the hinge zipper foot that I showed, was it last month on the live show, or the foot with, if you're talking about this foot with the little, so there's the foot, and it has like is that a screw?
Looks like a screw to me.
So you unscrew it and you move the foot depending on where you want it. I'm not sure if you're talking about that one. I make sure that I have enough clearance so that it's not close to the, sorry, I don't have a measurement for how far the needle's going to be. If I had to guess, I would say 1/8, but that's probably not right. Gwen says, "I think Chicago has Sarah has a Chicago Screws YouTube out there." I did, yes, we do. On the YouTube channel, there's a short video, maybe a 3 or 4 minute video on Chicago Screws, if you're interested in that. And Chicago Screws, probably the reason Gwen commented that way is because Chicago Screws are a great alternative to rivets. So if you don't want to invest in the tabletop press or even the handheld press, Chicago Screws will give you the same looking effect on the bag, but you screw those in using a Phillips screwdriver. So you just make a hole through your fabric, and it's 2 pieces front and back, and one of the pieces have the area where you would use the Phillips screwdriver, and you just screw that in, and then it's done. And they're really cheap and easy. You saw me put those in. Those were easy, right?
Yeah, very easy actually. Yeah. I think it's probably the easiest way to give that effect.
Yep, for sure. Pamela says, "Not so scary Halloween at Disney is the best. Dress and costume, trick-or-treating, and no line for the rides." No line for the rides?
Well, I think a lady I used to work with also mentioned that if you go right after Halloween, they still have the event going on, I believe.
Oh, but it's not busy?
It's not busy. So
I'm
not sure if that's what she meant, but someone told me that go right after Halloween. Kids are still in school, and you can
That
have a
sounds
great
right up
time
my
there.
alley.
Like,
'cause
I
love
would totally
mowing.
want to go do that. It sounds something cool to me. It's a little different. And then, yeah, I could dress up as something like Star Wars, you know?
I saw at Universal.
owned.
I think that they have like 8 haunted houses or something. So
I don't know if our
probably
kids would be
more.
up for that
No,
so much.
no, William would not like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying because you said something
Why you
different.
gotta put William on blast like that? I say our kids. We can't say who it is.
Well,
Now everyone's gonna think William's scared of stuff.
well, William just doesn't like
No.
scary movies and
Yep. Even Doctor Who, the newer
Sometimes-
seasons, there's some scary, the Weeping Angels.
Weeping Angels. Yeah.
Get them like questioning like who's around the corner. Turn all the lights on before I walk in that room.
Yeah. Thoughtfully Stone says, when you mention in your videos that you send your new bags to testers, what does that mean and what is the process? So basically people make the projects before I sell them to make sure they're the best they can be as far as typos, measuring errors, maybe my wording could be better. So sometimes I'm in my head as far as writing the pattern and having someone else look at it or make the project. They might recommend different wording to get the point across better, or
It's like if you're writing a book and you have proofreaders. You write
editor,
the
yeah.
editor, proofreaders. There's alpha. There's beta testers. You may have a great way of thinking it's going to work, and the way you write it may be written easier or better. You know, because it might be an easier step to write the same achieved goal.
Or sometimes people even say this photo doesn't make sense and I don't understand what's going on in the photo. And if that's the case, to me that's a huge problem, because the photo is really supposed to show you, hey, this is what it should look like after you complete this step. And if they can't tell from the photo, then I probably need to redo the photo as well. So
I think this could be fun.
Vicky says you two should take your kids to Colonial Williamsburg. Informative, fun restaurants there. They're going to like To Alive play, and you are involved. Is Williamsburg in Virginia, or where's that? Do you know?
I'm not sure what she's talking about, but I thought I saw Williamsburg even in Tennessee when I was looking around. So there might be multiple, like Springfields are very common.
I see.
We'll have to look it up and see exactly, or follow-up comment.
Rebecca says there's a trick-or-treat event where they close the parks and allow fewer people in. Oh, that's probably what she meant by less lines at Disney.
Yep.
That's a good question. I saw Cheryl had a question. Where to find the video for the Kennedy bag? We actually didn't make a video for that one yet. We have it on the list. I don't know. What's the reason why we don't have the video for that yet?
We're waiting to get our upstairs done, and everything's like we haven't recorded any videos. Honestly, it's probably been a month, I would guess. We've been doing a lot of other stuff behind the scenes, but not video recording. I know the Kenny was one of the ones we were talking about finishing soon, so I think we should finish it soon, to be honest. Maybe if we get a date next week. I'm trying I like to be very spontaneous, so we didn't have a vacation plan for next week, but since the kids are out of school and once the retreat's over, I think it'd be a great idea, maybe in a week or two, to get in the car and drive down to Tennessee, because I know we've spoke about going to Tennessee and looking at houses for sale. There's been a couple of cool places I've seen. I like to go check out the area, see what the people are like, and see if it's for us or not, and then turn it into a vacation as well, because Nashville's right there. I'm looking in the Nashville area. There's suburbs all around there, but if you guys know of a place for sale, before we go out there, send Sarah an email. It needs to have, I'd like 5 acres or larger. It has to have high-speed internet, good schools, and that's all the requirements we have. I know, like, that's all. It's not much. It's a lot. But if you find a gem out there, send Sarah an email, because we'll be going out there soon.
I see a lot of people saying that Williamsburg is in Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, well, I see another comment asking for the video for the Kennedy bag. We'll try to get that. I have the fabric. Bronwyn sent me the fabric for that. I have the hardware. I see Glory has a question. Do you have a video for the backpack? What's it called again? It's called the Cumberland backpack. Oh, I put it down here. Do you want to grab the little one and we can hold the big one and the little one up so everyone, in case they were curious about the sizing? Oh, yeah. No, you threw Williams too?
I was just in a throwing mood. It's fun throwing stuff around.
And maybe you can move the question so everybody could see.
Aye, Captain.
Okay. So there's this.
There's
a small version and a large version. The large version is more of a regular backpack size, and the small version is either for toddler or.
Actually, the smaller one's the one I prefer, because this is you can load this one down as much stuff as you want, and it still won't.
Yeah,
not
we
be
put a
too
water,
heavy.
but we put a couple water
Couple
bottles
water
in there.
bottles, snacks,
Yeah.
you name it. Sunscreen, great bag for all that stuff. I think we should probably wrap the show up, Sarah. It's
Okay.
it's getting pretty late.
Oh, I see. Mary says we should go to QuiltCon in Nashville. So
Yeah.
to make it
Check out Knoxville area too.
a sewing related trip. All right.
It's fabric on the big backpack, Sarah.
The
Last
fabric
one.
on the big backpack.
The last question.
Okay. This fabric is canvas fabric. It's designed by Rifle Paper Company for cotton and steel. So it's been out for at least a couple years, I think. And it's sort of like an off-white color, which is perfect for the backpack because it doesn't get dirty easily. Danny spilled a can of pop on it, orange crush.
I did not. It was
You
not
did.
me.
I see there's a little orange
That
dot
was
still
not me.
remaining on there.
It's blasphemy.
We have not put out the next Cork Club project yet, but we're getting toward the end of the month, so we're probably going to be right down under the wire.
Yeah, I
'cause of
guess
the
like
retreat.
2 days after it's supposed to come out, we'll be shooting it literally 2 days before it's going to be.
I was
go live.
thinking of doing a men's wallet, like just is it called a bifold when it's just the two sections and it
yep.
folds? So that's what I
My
was
wallet's a
thinking of.
bifold.
Yeah, I know. I was going to look at it for
Inspiration.
inspiration. Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for showing up this week. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I'm so tired and crazy. But next week I'll be promised to get more sleep. And thanks everyone for showing up. Really appreciate all the comments and the likes and the shares. It really means a ton of great stuff for us, and appreciate it.
Okay. Hope you have a great rest of the week and happy sewing.